going to call the meeting of the Board of Public Works to order on, what is today, September 25th, September 26th, 2024. Would you please call the roll?
Okay. Commissioner Espada,
Speak here.
Commissioner Gray,
Here?
Commissioner Lemon.
Here.
And I'm here as well.
Okay.
All right, so the first thing is to approve the agenda. Item 2, Commissioner Lemon.
I motion to approve the agenda as submitted.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, item 2, Commissioner Espitia.
Move, 3. I move to approve the minutes of the Board of Public Works meeting of August 22nd, 2024, and the Board of Public Works workshop meeting of September 5th, 2024.
And let the minutes show that Commissioner Shea is here at 4:01. Very good. So the motion is to approve the minutes. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next, public comment. Is there any member of the public who wishes to address the Board of Public Works? I don't see anyone. Wastewater, item A, Commissioner Gregg.
I motion to approve the user warrants as presented.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Shea.
I motion to approve the purchase and installation of a natural gas-fired boiler in the Natural Wastewater Treatment Facility, Wet Weather Facility, Headworks Building from Palmer and Sicard of Exeter, New Hampshire, in an amount not to exceed $49,385. Funding will be through Department 169 Wastewater Fund, WRF, account 81 Capital.
Mr. Boucher?
Good afternoon, Dave Boucher, wastewater superintendent. Yes, so this motion is for the purchase and installment of a new boiler for our wet weather headworks facility. It's been serviced by an outside company doing the preventive maintenance on it. We've had issues with it for the last several years. The last inspection, our company determined that it was at the end of its useful life. So we put this out to bid in August, and Palmer and Sicard were the low bidders. We checked some references, and they seem to be a good company that does this work, so we'd like to use them. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any discussion or questions? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much. We're on to the street department. Item A, Commissioner Lemon.
Motion to approve the purchase of winter road salt from Granite State Minerals of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Eastern Minerals Incorporated of Chelsea, Mass, in the amount of $545,000. Funding will be through Department 161 Streets, Fund General, account classification 61, supplies and materials.
John Ibarra, Superintendent of Streets. This is our annual salt procurement. Granite State Minerals, Eastern Minerals was the low bidder. They got the state bid, and we're piggybacking off that state bid this year. Happy to answer any questions.
Anyone? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Rivera. Now, the solid waste, item A. Commissioner Espitia.
Move to approve the contract with Charter Contracting Company LLC of Boston, Massachusetts in the amount of $6,788,865, including the bid alternate for the construction of the Phase 4 landfill. Funding will be through Department 168 Solid Waste Fund Bond Activity Phase 4 construction.
Mr. LaFleur.
Jeff LaFleur, Superintendent of Solid Waste. This is going off of my presentation that I did last month for you guys. We selected a contractor, we went out to bid, ended up with 3 bids, came back. They were all fairly close, within $300,000 of each other, so we know it's an accurate bid. Charter is the company that did Phase 3 for us, so we feel very confident with them. and we're happy to select them as our vendor to do the construction.
Commissioner Gregg.
What's a bid alternate? Sorry.
The bid alternate, it's, we have to excavate out about 40 or 50,000 cubic yards of material. The bid alternate was for them to place it in our setback area, to put it up against the wall, and actually place it with their piece of equipment. Them moving that amount of material, we wouldn't be able to do it with our operators, so we decided to do a bid alternate and have them place it in the exact spot we needed.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
All right, all those in favor of the,
Oh,
oops,
yeah,
Commissioner
sure.
Shea.
You've got a sample warranty, but it doesn't look like it cites the length of the warranty. Do you know what that is?
I wouldn't know under the contract side.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Yep.
Next, now we're on to engineering. Item A, Commissioner Gregg.
I move to approve the sewer service permits and fees as submitted.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item B, Commissioner Lemon.
I motion to approve the poll license petition as listed in the staff report.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item C, Commissioner Shea.
I motion to approve a drain layers license for A&D Services Incorporated of Woburn, Mass. In accordance with Nashua City Code 255-19, issuance of drain layers license, and authorize the Division of Public Works to temporarily suspend the license if work is found to be unsatisfactory during the initial 6-month probationary period.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item D, Commissioner Stevens.
I move to approve the use of Daniel Webster Highway and Spitbrook Road traffic mitigation funds to install pedestrian crossing signal equipment in an amount not to exceed $7,200.
Mr. Hudson.
Good afternoon, Dan Hudson, city engineer. This is a very low dollar item here, but we bring it to you because you're the agents to expend on the traffic mitigation funds. There is an existing crosswalk across Spitbrook Road at the DW Highway intersection with Spitbrook Road. That crosswalk, although it's striped, currently doesn't contain any pedestrian crossing equipment, so there's no pedestrian push buttons, no walking symbols or anything to that effect. So this came to our attention and request for adding those signals to provide the exclusive crossing phase for those pedestrians. So we're seeking to do that by withdrawing money from these funds and paying for it that way. I'd be happy to address any questions.
Commissioner Gregg.
Which part of the intersection is it? Is it leading down Daniel Webster, or is it up to Spitbrook?
No, it's on the Spitbrook leg, so just west of DW Highway on the Spitbrook leg of the intersection. There's a crosswalk there. There's mast arms on each corner. We would add that pedestrian signal indication signage on the mast arm, as well as the push button to call the phase if you're a pedestrian trying to cross there.
Thanks.
Commissioner Shea.
And is this gonna tie into the traffic signals? And is it four-way, sorry, I see you, but not verbally answered. And then my follow-up to that would be, is it gonna be in all 4 directions at the intersection?
So the answer is no. Yes, it will tie into the signal. We'll modify the timing, provide that exclusive pedestrian phase, wherever is appropriate there, to provide that protected crossing. But there are not crosswalks on the other legs of the intersection. Costco, as you're aware, that they had planned to add some as part of their project. That didn't happen. They're coming back, we understand, to the city, so that may happen as part of that project or as part of a separate project. But this is those would take additional efforts in order to create the ramps, stripe the crossings, perhaps add pedestals and whatnot on corners if they're not suitable to install equipment on the mast arm. So those aren't low-hanging fruit, so to speak. That is something that we would intend to do someday. This is low-hanging fruit in the sense that we can just go put up this equipment and at least provide that crossing for that striped crosswalk that exists.
So it sounds like you know that kind of crossing DW is a tough spot. You see a lot of people kind of crossing in the middle of the road because the intersections are almost more dangerous when you're trying to gauge it. Good. This is good progress, and hopefully we can continue on that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item E, Commissioner Gregg.
I move to consider the hardship request from TF Moran, Inc. on behalf of Brookline Opportunities, Inc. of Hollis, New Hampshire, to excavate in East Hollis Street to install utility services and curbing.
So I do expect the engineer from TF Moran to come to speak to this, should the board have questions, but I can briefly introduce it, and should you desire additional information, perhaps table it until he shows up to address those. But in summary, there is a proposed housing development down off of East Hollis Street. It's a 95-unit affordable housing project. There's a section of Crown Street as it splits off of East Hollis Street, kind of a ramp down to Crown Street. This development needs to tie utility services into that section of roadway. It is a moratorium. So the request is to, which actually expires in November 1st of this year. So they're requesting this hardship waiver to get in there and be able to install those utilities now so they can do it this season in preparation for construction of the building. One unique aspect of this is they've asked to waive the normal restoration requirement, which is the milling of the full width, 20 feet beyond. And here's Mr. Golan, so he can speak to this after I finish presenting. So they've asked to not include that milling and inlay, and he can speak to perhaps why not. I think it may be due to the affordable housing nature of the project and limited funding, but I'd ask him to come speak to that should the board.
Well, this is a busy section of road, so what does not doing the normal
It would be
restoration?
so they would do a full trench patch, just like we do most places. Like if we go cut a non-moratorium road, there's a temporary pavement patch, and then you come back and you do cutbacks, and you do the permanent pavement patch. So it would be no different than any of the other places that we do that. The moratorium roads, we go above and beyond that by doing a mill in all directions around that patch to try to further blend it in and extend that pavement life. As I noted, this is towards the end of the period of that moratorium. If they did wait till November 2nd, they'd be doing the same thing that they're doing right now. They're just asking to get in there and do this now instead of waiting till then. Would you like Mr. Golan to speak to it?
Or would you like me to speak?
Come right here.
I was running a little late. I think the timing worked out good. My apologies for arriving a little bit tardy. My name is Nick Golan. I'm a licensed engineer and principal with the firm TF Moran, here on behalf of Mr. Joe Tamposi as part of Brookline Opportunities, LLC. We have a gorgeous 95-unit, 100% affordable housing project going in at 175 and 177 East Hollis Street. This is a culmination of about a year and a half, 2 years worth of work to get to this point. The city has been an absolute fantastic partner through the entirety of the process. As far as the municipalities we work in, Nashua seems to have it right in understanding the need for this and finding the right places for them to be located. Relative to our request, again, so this is 95 units. This is touching 4 different AMI brackets, so 30%, 50%, and 60% and 70%, noting that it's probably the majority of them are in that 60% bracket, but really provides some great diversity of housing and a very attractive finished product. With these affordable housing projects, every penny is counted. We're talking the difference of about 30 days as to whether or not they would be able to cut that pavement and follow the typical trench patch procedure versus the mill and overlay. kind of a two-parter. One, yeah, it is a cost component. Again, every dollar counts with these projects and allows them to do different things with those funds to better support the users of those buildings. The reality is they could wait a month, but now we're trying to pay it in November instead of October. So from an operational standpoint, it's a lot better to do that work now and be able to secure that small portion of East Hollis. Also noting that that portion of East Hollis is beyond the throughway that takes you across the bridge. It's a one-way. We have two users that are in that area. There's also a little bit of a benefit there in that we're not really impacting a whole lot of folks when it comes to doing that work. So I imagine this probably isn't a typical request you receive, but for the reasons outlined, we're asking that you consider it, and that it's a difference of about 30 days, and we think that the end product could be more attractive than waiting and trying to conduct that work 30 days from now.
So this is not the heavily trafficked portion of the road?
This is the Y that
That little
splits off to
spur
the right.
thing,
Yep. Yeah, otherwise, if we were doing the portion that is the throughway, I don't know that I'd be here having this request. I think that would reach a little bit more concern.
Any questions?
Even if there aren't any questions relative to the request, any questions about the project, this is gonna look great. They're taking down the buildings now. Excited to see this project going in this location.
All right, anybody have any questions or comments?
Great to see more housing going up,
Yep.
always.
Especially that part of Nashua. I feel like there's a lot of good opportunities for development out there. East Hall Street.
All right, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item F is simply an informational item. If there are no comments there, we'll go on to administration and the director's report.
Oh yeah, the Main Street sinkhole.
You may have seen this on the news, a sinkhole opened up in Library Hill on Friday, September 20th. Streets, wastewater, and engineering departments all responded to the sinkhole, and Continental Paving was mobilized and performed the repair. Here we have markings, ink, painting, and laying out Spitbrook Road overnight on August 27th as part of the 2024 paving program. We had ADA ramps being poured by Sunshine Paving on Main Dunstable Road at Buck Meadow Road on September 9th to support addition of a pedestrian crossing between Gilson Road and Buck Meadow Road. Here we have sidewalk repairs being made by Beck and Bellucci on Route 111 westbound bridge over the Merrimack River on Tuesday, September 10th. Pullman Stadium on September 2nd. The staff prepped the area's facade that was much needed, and the finish on work is thriving. The Parks Department was called upon by the fire department to take down some hazardous trees around the Lake Street Fire Department, and this took place on September 14th. Encore Casino trip. Our next recreation trip will be on the Encore Boston Harbor Casino on Tuesday, October 22nd. Join us for a full day of fun, including in the $40 price is a bus transportation and $20 of free slot play. Also within recreation, we have a walking program. We'll be ending at the end of October for the year. As always, we thank the Nashua Senior Center for partnering with us, and we truly enjoy seeing everyone each Friday morning at the Nashua River Trail. Boo Bash, our annual holiday Halloween Boo Bash will be held on Saturday, October 19th at Greeley Park from 4 to 7. There'll be hay rides, pumpkin decorating, bonfire, movies, haunted house, and some of the tricks and treats we'll be offering to Nashua residents. As always, free of charge. Here we have the streets crew striping new pavement at Leakin Park. Street crew is repairing irrigation lines for the park at Tillery Lane. Fleet Department Personnel removing a pickup truck bed for rust restoration, repairs to prolong the service life of a solid waste vehicle. Fleet has introduced a new medium-duty dump truck for the park department. The truck will be used for daily operations such as park and field repairs, tree pruning and removal, towing equipment to job sites, and will also serve as a snow fighter during winter storms. Wastewater staff keeps the plant looking great with annual maintenance. Here you can see staff painting gate openers. Solid Waste Department, our next household hazardous waste collection for 2024 will be held in Nashua on Saturday, October 5th. Four Hills Landfill and Nashua Recycling Center will be closed on Monday, October 14th in observance of Indigenous Peoples' Day. All curbside collections will be delayed one day that week. Curbside collection of oversized items and appliances will be ending for the season. The last day to request a pickup is Friday, October 18th, and the collection will be ending on Friday, October 25th.
Any comments or questions concerning the director's report?
What
Commissioner
caused
Lemon.
the sinkhole?
Glad you asked. It was an old sewer main, well over 100 years old, that apparently had collapsed. We think it was unreinforced concrete pipe, which was one of the pipe types that we have had issues with before. But crews were out adjusting structures in preparation for a final paving in that area, and saw a hole develop, and, you know, as we peeled it back, it was bigger and bigger and bigger. So a little bit frightening, but I'm glad it happened now versus after paving. Kudos to Continental Paving and others who, and the rest of the people that responded. They ended up replacing that section of sewer main with a PVC pipe. We had to cut out a section of Pennachuck water main as well, because that had been undermined by this work, and replace that. So we worked cooperatively with Pennachuck as well. They'll be paying for that part of the work, but, so anyway, it was good response from that. I'm glad it's taken care of. We plan to pave over 2 Saturdays. The first will be this Saturday, weather dependent, obviously, but, so I asked people to avoid the area while we're doing that work as much as possible.
Thank you.
And was it, before you go,
Commissioner Shea.
and was the water main disrupted? It was undermined, but was there any sort of break in it or anything like that?
So there wasn't, but the fear would be that it's hard to compact under something like that. It's a 24-inch water main, services all downtown. That water main is about 150 years old, but surprisingly, it was in really good shape still. I mean, they used to build water mains really thick, and it was fairly clean and stuff on the inside. So, but no, the Pennachuck's fear was just that should we compact this and then pave, that ultimately there'd be some settlement which would then cause the pipe to crack. So they elected to have us work with them to cut that piece out. And they also installed, as part of the replacement, they installed an additional valve. You can never have too many valves with water mains because it helps you isolate different areas.
Mhm.
So there's a little value add there as well with that repair.
Good. Yeah, you don't want to hear about the sewer and the water pipes being both broken and next to each other.
No, there wasn't that situation.
Good.
If the 24-inch water main broke, we'd know it. That would not be a secret. That would be a gusher. So no, that
Yeah.
wasn't the case.
Appreciate
On
it.
top
Thank
of
you.
Library Hill.
All right. Any other questions, comments about the director's report? If not, we will go to non-public. We have, I think, a grievance here. Mr. Bolton is here.
We
Yeah.
gotta go into non-public.
Shall I so move?
Yes. You think what?
We gotta go into non-public.
So I move
Wait,
by.
wait.
You have some hirings to do, there's one motion for that, you may wanna do that. Then inquire of Mr. Ducharme if he wants his grievance hearing in public or not, because it's his choice.
Okay.
Well,
I
we
thought
could-
he.
And then an appropriate motion in that regard would be in order, but the motion I'm seeing on your agenda just refers to hiring.
Yes. Now, do you want to do non-public or public?
Non-public. Not public.
Non-public, all right. Well, what if we,
Let's just open it up.
what if we go into non-public, we do the grievance, then, once that's through, you could leave, and then we just do we do the other stuff.
Yeah.
That way, you don't have to go out and come back.
Okay, the motion should cite the fact that it is for purpose of considering discipline of a public employee.
All right, and then for hiring, so we would cover all three items in the non-public. First,
Cite both reasons.
Yes, all right. Now, we have, the motion, I believe, is with Commissioner Shea.
I'll take a stab at it.
He can probably handle it.
So I move by roll call that the board go into non-public session pursuant to RSA 91-A, Section 3, subsection 2B, for the hiring of any person as a public employee and for discussion regarding reprimand of a public employee.
Discipline or reprimand, right?
Disciplinary action.
All right, this is roll call vote, correct?
Commissioner Shea?
Was
Yeah.
there a second? I didn't hear.
Oh, do we need a second?
You need a second for this.
Seconded by Commissioner Gregg. Could we have the roll call, please?
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Gregg?
Yes.
Commissioner Spedia?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes.
Cool.
All right, so we're going to go into non-public session for the two purposes. All right, Commissioner Shea.
I move by roll call to seal the minutes of the Board of Public Works non-public meeting of September 26, 2024, until such a time as the majority of the board votes that the purpose of the confidentiality would no longer be served.
All right, all those in favor of the, oh, no, excuse me, this has to be a roll call. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Shea?
Yes.
Commissioner Lemon?
Yes.
Commissioner Gregg?
Yes.
Commissioner Espedia?
Yes.
Mayor Donches?
Yes. Motion passes. And do we have one more?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Under personnel, motion A to approve and unseal the non-public meeting minutes from August.
Do you have that?
22nd.
Commissioner Shea.
I motion to approve and unseal the non-public minutes for personnel from the Board of Public Works meeting of August 22nd, 2024, and September 5th, 2024.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And is there a motion to adjourn? Commissioner Shea.
I motion to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the meeting of the Board of Public Works is adjourned at 5:05 PM.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Now, we have I'm the only one who signed the warrant, so, okay, all right.